Star Wars is easily one of the best franchises out there, and there have been many Force users in Star Wars. Well, today I'm going to go over the top 10 most powerful Force users in Star Wars from weakest to strongest, so let's go ahead and get to it. Now, just note, I will be including this based off of how much power they've gained, so basically what I'm saying is, since Obi-Wan has beaten Darth Vader more times before, well, that doesn't mean Vader is weaker than Obi-Wan, but you'll find out later who's stronger in the video. Now, I just wanted to also let you know that although I'm including Force users, I will not be putting Mother Talzin on this list, because exactly I just don't feel like I really wanna, so. I know it's weird that Darth Maul's coming in at the number 10 spot, but after he lost to Obi-Wan Kenobi, well, he just lost a lot of power that he originally had. And although he was able to survive being cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi by using his hate and his anger, well, still he came back with a lot of rage and was able to push around Obi-Wan like a doll. I mean, Maul is one of the quickest Sith Lords in all the galaxy, and one of the best swordsmen in the Sith culture. Now, although Palpatine just tossed Maul aside, well, Maul was able to survive, like I said, through his anger and hate. And he was able to kill Qui-Gon Jinn, but when it comes to fighting Obi-Wan in Rebels as old Ben Kenobi, well, sadly, Maul couldn't beat him, mainly because of two reasons. One, well, Maul pretty much still lost way too much power once again, and two, well, Maul is old, so though he tried to use the same trick that killed Obi-Wan's master all those years ago, that failed as it eventually led up to Darth Maul's death. Ahsoka Tano is easily a very powerful Force user. Now, although she was trained by Anakin Skywalker, well, she was easily able to take on both Darth Maul and Darth Vader, including also former Jedi Knight, now Sith mercenary Baylan Skoll. Now, although she lost to him, well, it's mainly because Ahsoka's lightsaber fighting tactic was mainly by using two lightsabers in wide open spaces. Now, although it was shocking that she was able to take on Maul and Vader, but lost to Baylan, well, that's pretty much the whole reason why. And besides, she did burn her hand. And one of the most impressive things is what she was able to dodge every single Inquisitor swing from one Inquisitor and was able to steal his saber and cut his head off. That was very impressive. And Ahsoka didn't even have a lightsaber by that point. Darth Plagueis the Wise, the master of course, Darth Sidious himself. Now, yet he was Darth Sidious's master. Well, Plagueis, well, he wasn't exactly an evil Sith Lord. He just thought Palpatine to be an evil Sith Lord. Now, Plagueis had what was called the Sith Staff, that belonged to the Emperor of the Sith. And at that point, it was Darth Plagueis, as he killed his master, just as Palpatine killed Plagueis. Now, one thing that makes something interesting is, well, Plagueis actually orchestrated the midichlorians to go inside Anakin's mother, Shmi Skywalker. So he almost was Anakin's father, but he did that pretty much before Palpatine killed him. So that gift was passed down to Palpatine. So both of them were technically Anakin's father. But Plagueis doesn't exactly earn the spot of Anakin's father, and although he was very talented with Force lightning, well, Plagueis needed more training and skills in order to be able to match up with pretty much every other Force user more powerful than him on this list. Now, of course, he's more powerful than Darth Maul and Ahsoka Tano, but he's not even close to being able to beat the rest of the Force users here, except for the next one. But that's easily why, since Plagueis let his guard down and thought Palpatine would never betray him, that's why, Palpatine was easily able to kill him in his sleep. Mace Windu is easily a powerful Jedi Master, and was said to be the one Jedi that Yoda respected the most. Grand Master Yoda himself, and Windu was the most Jedi that Yoda respected, or the highest respect for. Now, Windu was very skilled and talented, especially with his purple lightsaber. he mainly tried specifically to keep both the Force and the dark side of the Force with him with his purple saber. But he always tried to be able to keep on the light side of the Force. Now, Windu technically has an aggressive and talented lightsaber form. Now, he made his own lightsaber form, which is why he was easily able to match up with Darth Sidious himself. And that's how he was easily able to beat him. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a Padawan of Qui-Gon Jinn, and one of the most powerful Force users of all time. Now, Obi-Wan was able to match up with Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, and was said to maybe even take on the Emperor himself. But Obi-Wan grew to be weaker and weaker, and although he was able to beat Darth Vader in their first few fights, well, Obi-Wan still earns the spot of being weaker than Vader. Now, although I know it sounds weird, Obi-Wan beat Vader in their first 2 fights, but when A New Hope rolls around, well, apparently Obi-Wan loses and gets killed by Vader. Well, that's mainly because, well, a few reasons. 1, because he had killed Darth Maul in the same state. 2, because he's older now and can't fight as well with a lightsaber. And 3, because being around Vader's presence was able to tire Obi-Wan out in the Force. Now, he's not just some expert duelist. Obi-Wan is very skilled in the Force, as he was said to be more powerful than the Emperor, but that's not even close to being true. Now, although Kenobi was able to tumble on Darth Vader 2 times in a row, but still, Vader was able to overpower him throughout many years. Now, Kenobi can get very aggressive when it comes to being angered by things Maul or Vader or Dooku or anyone else talks about, like the death of his master Qui-Gon Jinn at the hands of Darth Maul. That is one reason why he was able to kick the crap out of Darth Vader. Now, although Obi-Wan is very strong, well, still, he can't match up on who is next up. Like I had just said, Darth Vader is actually more powerful than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Mainly because, although he lost to Obi-Wan in their first 2 fights, being around Vader's presence in the Force from Obi-Wan was able to tire him out. Now, Vader was said to be unparalleled in the Force between the Kenobi Show and Rebels and A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and then in Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, and then he was said to be unparalleled in the Force. Now, although he was weaker after being burnt by Obi-Wan on Mustafar, well, still, Vader was able to survive through his anger, hate, and pain. Now, Vader was the most skilled fighter in the whole Empire. Now, he's more powerful than you might think. I mean, he's not the most powerful Force user, that's why he's at number 5 here, but still, being at number 5, well, he's at the halfway mark on the list. Now, that's really impressive, especially with the fact that he was said to be able to match up with Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridger, and maybe even the Emperor himself. I don't want to hear a single goddamn word from you guys, but I know it's weird that I'm putting Anakin and Vader on this list, but since Vader says they're 2 different people, screw it. Let's just go ahead and plus, one is more powerful than the other, and Vader is weaker than his old self, Anakin Skywalker. Now, Anakin was said to be twice as powerful as the Emperor, but once being burnt by Mustafar by Obi-Wan Kenobi, well, he was said now as Darth Vader to be 80% of the Emperor's power. Now, he was easily able to tumble on Count Dooku, just as Obi-Wan was able to tumble on Darth Vader. Now, he had great Force potential, but unfortunately, he lost that potential, and someone else, and I think you should know, took over all that potential and became the most powerful Force user in all of Star Wars. I know it kind of sounds weird, but Master Yoda does unfortunately take the 3rd spot as most powerful Force user. Now, the reason he takes the number 3 spot instead of the number 2 or 1 spot is mainly because Master Yoda was unfortunately weaker than Count Dooku. Well, he was able to match up with Count Dooku, and although he could take on the Emperor himself, well, unfortunately, Master Yoda wasn't able to beat the Emperor and is said to be weaker than him. Now, Yoda is easily probably the most talented Jedi when it comes to the Force, and he's got crazy acrobatic skills. Now that's the point. That's his advantage of being this small. Now he's pretty much the size of the average 2-month-old baby. But although that, Yoda is very talented in the Force, and is one of the few that can block Force lightning. So he basically is one of the most skilled Force users in all of Star Wars. I know it might sound crazy, but Palpatine does earn the spot as most powerful Sith Lord and second most powerful Force user in all of Star Wars. Now he is very skilled and very powerful, and he was able to take on Saesee Tiin, Kit Fisto, and another Jedi Master, and Mace Windu. He was able to kill 3 Jedi Masters right off the bat in his duel with Mace Windu. Now, Palpatine is one of the deadliest duelists out there. More deadly of a duelist than probably Master... He's probably actually the most deadly duelist, besides, of course, Count Dooku. Now, he orchestrated the Clone Wars and played both sides. Now, honestly, orchestrating all this was very impressive. Now, Palpatine is one of the deadliest Sith Lords in all of Star Wars, and he's probably the most powerful. I mean, basically, he was declared by George Lucas to be, but I don't think that's true, but he is the most powerful in canon. Now, unfortunately, he was able to lose to Mace Windu, but eventually take him out. But still, unfortunately, he can't beat our most powerful Force user. I know it's crazy to say this, but Luke Skywalker is actually not only the most powerful Jedi, but the most powerful Force user out there. Trained by Master Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke grew to be more powerful than Master Yoda, more powerful than Darth Vader, more powerful than Palpatine himself, becoming all-time most powerful Force user out there. He's incredibly skilled in the Force, and is a deadly powerful duelist. Now, although he used great Force powers, he was able to walk on lava and create Force fields. But what do you guys think? What's your favorite Sith Lord what's your favorite Force user in Star Wars? Let me know it down in the comments below. This is my channel, Darth Dragu. I do Star Wars battles. I do editing fights. I can do a lot more. Let me know what you guys want to see next time, and peace out.